Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Faradiba Soraya, and in this video I will answer questions regarding organizational behavior. It is one of my subject in my 5th semester right now, and I am making this video to fulfill the midterm exam. So the questions are divided into part A and part B. I will start with part A, number 1. Part A number 1, define the organizational behavior to three experts and interpret their definition in their own words. So I get 3 experts, and the first is Lutyens, where he explained and defined the organizational behavior as the understanding, the prediction and management of the human behavior affect the performance of the organization. It means that how we understand, how we predict, and how we manage the human behave in, or the people behave in the organization or in the company. The next is from Stephen P. Robbins. Organizational behavior is a field of study that investigates the impact that individuals, groups, and structure have on behavior within organization for the purpose of applying such knowledge toward improving an organization effectiveness. Here is organizational about how we study the impact of people behave in a company and how it will affect their effectiveness, their performance. Next is from Kate Davis. Organizational behavior is the study and application at knowledge about how people as individuals and groups act within organizations. It strives to identify ways in which people can act more effectively. It is almost the same from Stephen P. Robbins. This is in organizational behavior. They explain how we study about how people in the group, in the company behave. Number 2, what are the 3 levels of analysis in operational behavior model, and are they related? If so, how and what disciplines are involved in organizational behavior, and what do each discipline contribute to organizational behavior? So 3 levels of analysis in the operational behavior model. There are individual level analysis, group level analysis, and organizational system level analysis, and 3 of them are related. So it starts first with individual diversity characteristic, personality, and values. They are shaped by a combination of individuals' genetic inheritance and childhood environment. And then it creates a group structure, roles, and team responsibilities that are typically assigned immediately before or after a group is formed. And the final is it will be result the organizational behavior and culture. So there are there are some disciplines that involve in organizational behavior. The first is psychology, that contribute on learning, perceptions, personality, emotions, and leadership effectiveness, and also in the work decision and job stress. The next is social psychology, where it contributes in measuring, understanding, and changing attitudes, and in the identifying communication patterns and building the trust. The next is from sociology discipline, where it contributes in organizational culture, formal organization theory and structure, and organizational technology, communication, power, and conflict. The last is anthropology, where it contributes in organizational culture, organizational environments, and differences among the national cultures. Next, number 3, what is attribution theory and what are its implications for explaining behavior in organizations? So, attribution theory is intended to help a person understand the causes of human behavior. The basis of attribution theory is that people want to know the reason for the action that they and others take. They want to attribute cause to behavior they see rather than assuming that these behaviors are random. So attributes are critical to management because perceived causes of behavior may influence managers and employees' judgments and actions. So attributes also may influence employee motivations. Next, number 4. One day your boss comes in and he is nervous, edgy, and argumentative. The next day he is calm and relaxed. Does this behavior suggest that personality traits are not consistent from day to day? And support the answers with the theory of organizational behavior. So I think there are not mentioned as the traits and not consistent. So these are simply variation of the emotional states. So emotions are reaction to an object. So it is not cannot be called as a trait. So emotions itself have a number of dimensions. There are variety, intensity, frequency, and duration. So for the theory itself, there is James Lange theory that explains that people experience emotion because they perceive their body's physiological response to external events. So according to this theory, people don't cry because they feel sad. Rather, people feel sad because they cry, and likewise they feel happy because they smile. Number 5, what is the relationship between job satisfaction and absenteeism? Job satisfaction and turnover, and which is the stronger relationship? Support your explanation with previous research. So we find a consistent negative relationship between satisfaction and absenteeism. Dissatisfied employees are more likely to miss work. And also job dissatisfaction is more likely to translate into turnover when employment opportunities are plentiful because employees perceive it is easy to move. So the relationship between job satisfaction and turnover is stronger than the relationship between satisfaction and absenteeism. Number 6, what can firms do to create more motivating environments for their employees? So many things the firms can do, but some of them is to give greater job, for example, greater job freedom or additional authority to workers, so they feel they can be more creative. And also firm can remove some job controls, and also firms can increase the worker accountability for their own work and give worker complete units of work to produce, and make periodic reports directly to the workers, not through their supervisor. Number 7, explain the Maslow hierarchy of needs theory, ERG theory, McClelland's theory of needs, motivation hygiene theory, and how are they related to one and another's. So first is hierarchy of needs theory from Maslow. This is the best known theory of motivation. So Maslow hypothesized that within every human being, there exists a hierarchy of 5 needs. The first one is physiological, that including hunger, thirst, shelter, sex, and other bodily needs. This is the most basic needs of the human being. And the second one is safety, which is include security and protection from physical and emotional harm. And this is also the basic needs of the human being. And the third one is social needs, where they needs affection, belongingness, acceptance, and friendship. The fourth one is esteem, including internal factors such as self-respect, autonomy, and achievement. Also external factors such as status, recognition, and attention. The last one is self-actualization, where in this hierarchy, it drives to become what we are capable of becoming, including the growth, the achievement of the potential, and the self-fulfillment. The next is ERG theory, is a theory in psychological purpose by Clayton Alderfer. So Alderfer further developed Maslow's hierarchy of needs by categorizing the hierarchy into his ERG theory. ERG stands for existence, relatedness, and growth. So the existence group is concerned with providing the basic material existence requirement of humans. The next is McClelland's theory of needs, was developed by David McClelland and his associates. So it looks at 3 needs. The first one is need for achievement, that drive to excel, to achieve in relationship to a set of standards. The next is need for power. It's the need to make others behave in a way they would not have otherwise. The third one is need for affiliation. It's the desire for friendly and close interpersonal relationship. So the 2-factor theory, also known as Herzberg motivation hygiene theory and dual factor theory, states that there are certain factors in the workplace that cause job satisfaction, while a separate set of factors cause dissatisfaction. So the relationship between this theory is from one theory into another. There is one basic, which is Maslow theory of needs. So the basic of all of the theory is from Maslow theory of needs. Then it developed by some expert into many theories. We are still in part A, but now we are moving to second sections. And the first question is, OB is for everyone. Solve an argument to support this statement. So OB, it is for everyone, and each one of us has an inherent to and need to understand and predict the world in which we live right now. And OB knowledge is not just for the managers. We all need to understand and master the practices of the organizational behavior, and every organization will need to have managers, and the rest of us now are expected to manage ourselves. Next, number 2, give some examples of situations where expressing emotions openly might improve job performance. So from one of the professor named Sigal Bursit, he says that emotions travel from person to person like a virus. So when you show positive emotion in the workplace, it will certainly improve the job performances. A simple good morning with smile, for example, it can make some people's day and improve their productivity in that day. And also, expressing some emotions means you try to be honest to others. So for example, when you feel upset with your co-workers, and you can tell him or her fairly so that you can fix the bad relationship between you and make good cooperation again. Next, number 3, managers should do everything they can to enhance the job satisfaction of their employees. Do you agree or disagree and support your position? So although managers have many roles, the main purpose of the manager is to manage their employee in a way that can maximize the profits of the organization. So satisfied employee leads to increasing of the productivity and then vice versa. So, but the managers, I think, should not really do anything to achieve that. Managers should arrange the job settings effectively and efficiently in order to improve the job satisfaction of the employee. So manager does not necessarily need to do anything, but instead they should do the right thing. Number 4, identify 3 activities you really enjoy and identify also 3 activities you really dislike. Using expectancy theory, write each of your answer to assess why some activities stimulate your effort. So expectancy theory is about the expectation of the outcome while you doing some efforts. So for the 3 activities I like is, the first one, I enjoy discussion of any matters because it helps me to understand problem easily, and I can see other people opinions of the problem. And also I like singing, while singing can release half of my stress, I guess. And the third one, I like reading. So from reading I can grow my focus from there. From what I dislike is I don't like debating actually. It just stresses me out when hearing people screams claiming they're the right one. And also I don't like pressure, and sometimes I can't deal with it. So next, number 5, how is OB applied in your life as a student in a university, as an employee in a workplace, and as an employer? So as a student in university itself, we learn how to be a part of organization, and organizational behavior can directly applied in this activity. It is how we try to understand our friends' behavior and also how we can conduct a good behavior in the class. So for the employee, it is how we as co-workers cooperate with others and how we have a good manners and attitude toward managers or executives. For employers, it is how we manage the people to behave and how we motivate them to gain the productivity. So now we will start answering questions in part B, and we will also start with number 1. Okay, part B, number 1. Please mention the titles of topics that have been presented in the class and mention the names of the students presenting the topics. How do you find the presentation mastery and speech of the communications? What lesson you get from each topic and which they have present? So I will explain it. The topics that have been presented one by one. So every week there are 3 groups that presented in front of the class, and those 3 groups are explaining 3 different topics. In the first week, and the first presenters are Amanda Tiara Rizky and Luna Anissa, and the topics they present is what is organizational behavior. In these topics, what I can get from them is the definition itself about organizational behavior, and also the basic understanding of organizational behavior. Also from the same week, we have second presenters. There are Etsa and Miriam Asali. They delivered about diversity in organizations. From this presentation, I can know about the diversity or differences in the of people in the company. And for the third presenter in the first week, there are Fadila and Andre Giovanni, and they delivered about attitude and job satisfaction, where job satisfaction can impact the company effectiveness. So for the second week, there are 3 groups also. In the first group, delivered by Masita and Pandu, it is emotions and moods. And what I can get from this presentation is how emotions and mood can affect your decision making process in the company. And the next is personality and values, delivered by Rianti and Reno Akbarul Rizki. And from this presentation, I can get that the personality and values is various in a company. The next is about perception and individual decision making, delivered by Safrilia Putri and Erikson Sanjaya. What I can get from this presentation is about the variety of perception and individual decision making process in a company. So the next week presenter in the first group are Handy and Stephen, where they explain about motivation concepts. What I can get from this presentation is how the motivation is useful to boost employees' performances. Next is from Tiara and Husnul. They explain about motivation from the concept to the application. In these topics, they explain more about the motivation itself. And in this presentation, what I can get from it is about the next application of the motivation, and the more detailed information about the previous concept of the motivation itself. The last presenter is about by Daniel and Karin, about foundation of group behavior. From this presentation, what I can get is about how to create the foundation of the group behavior, and also group are divided into formal and informal group. About how they present is overall all of the group have been presented are very good, and they are well explained the topics, and also they should have mastered their own topics. And also some of the groups giving reward for the participants in the quiz, and I love that. That is very interesting. The last is number 2. So you must watch at least 4 videos in group of Facebook or WhatsApp, and mention the titles of the video, the names of the speaker, and what does the speaker talk about in the video, and what lesson can you get from watching the videos. So I have watched the 4 videos. The first video is titled Intro to Organizational Behavior, and in YouTube channel, the channel named Rifban. So the narrator didn't say his name, so I don't know the name, but he explained about organizational behavior by words. The first, he described what is organization, and then he explained the organizational behavior itself, and then he also explained why we have to study organizational behavior and the importance of it. And also he explained the three levels of organizational behavior, which are individuals, groups, and organization. And then the last one, he explained about 4 sciences involved in your organizational behavior. Those are sociology, psychology, social psychology, and anthropology. And the mix of these 4 sciences create organizational behavior. So the next video is titled Organizational Behavior Part 1. So the speaker is a professor named Sudhir Sant. So he described organization as 2 or more people work together, and also explain the behavior as how you act, how you behave. And next, he described organizational behavior as systematic study of organization structure. And when you study organizational behavior, means you study every aspect within the organization. And also, I continue watching the part 2 of organizational behavior, still from the same speaker, who are Sudhir Sant. In the part 2, Professor Sudhir Sant continue explain about groups and how individuals behave differently while they in a group. And also he explained about skills and leadership. So the first video titled Organizational Culture, it is delivered by Joel Peterson and from the channel Stanford Graduate School of Business. So it is about when we're starting a new venture, it is easy to get consumed with the task in making this a reality, but we are giving a careful thought to how one interacts with others, particularly on the team. A founder may be setting a culture without knowing it. So what can founder do to positively impact to the culture for the long term in this very early days, and what should or she be careful to not to do the negatively impact of the culture. So that's all. So I think that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.